Well, an absolute ding-dong in the Clásico, first versus second, excuse me, in La Liga. Obviously, Real Madrid away in Barcelona had to win for a chance of winning the title. They are now 7 points behind with 35 games played, and it looked so good early doors for them, didn't it? Because Mbappe scored a couple of early goals, putting them 2-0 up away from home, but it ended 4-3, and it could have been 5-3. It could have been goals all over the gaff, basically. An incredible contest. It was an incredible day of football all round. Still going with like Inter and Liverpool and Arsenal playing at time of recording. I went out for a run at the break of the Clásico, and it's, hence the vest and whatever, so, you know, consider this a free post of only Jans. I want to react to it because Mbappe scored a hat-trick on the losing side, and he's done that before, if you remember, in the World Cup. That is not a good habit to get into, but I tell you what, like, you know, him and Vinny Jr., Vinny getting a couple of assists as well, linking up well, and Mbappe having what can only be described as a very good first season at Real Madrid. Of course, how old is Mbappe? 27? Like, you know, when you buy Mbappe, they've been courting him for years. He's 26. He doesn't actually turn 27 until the end of this year. So he's still in his prime, but, like, he's entering his prime-ish. So you're buying that kind of level of player. You kind of expect this. He's probably on loads of very high wages as well at Real Madrid. But he's playing very well. Yeah, man. Obviously, they lost the Copa del Rey final. It was an absolute insane game. They do have injuries as well. Real Madrid, they sort of decimated at centre-back. Aurelien Tchouameni in there. But Barcelona coming off their disappointment in the Champions League. An absolute ding-dong out there. And, of course, anything can happen. And if Real Madrid have won this, which at points they thought, certainly early on, they thought they were going to, had they'd won it, then the title race would have been, you know, burst wide open, because Barcelona would be on 79 and Real Madrid would be on 78. There would be a point between them. Yeah, absolute ding-dong. Hey guys, welcome back. As you can probably tell, I upload multiple times a day on this channel, Football Yannick. All the big stories in the beautiful game. If you do want to support the content, I really appreciate it. Just drop a like on this video and subscribe if you want to. Alright, mate. So, let's have a look then. These are the players that lined up in the big Clásico in Barcelona, in the Olympic Stadium. Well, I forget the name of the stadium. It's not the Camp Nou, is it? Yeah, so Hansi Flick ball, 4-2-3-1 represented here on Sofa Score. Pedri having an amazing season next to his surprising, and how things have worked out for Frankie de Jong to be a first choice central midfielder for Barcelona is a twist of fate. None of the defenders in either side really looking good in this game. But yeah, good controlling midfield from Barcelona. Of course, Dani Olmo in the 10 behind Ferran Torres in the absence of Robert Lewandowski. And you'd have to say he did well there, getting 3 assists. Lamine Yamal with a banger as per usual, and a brace from Rafinha. You even had Firmino at the end thinking he was going to score. I think it's his birthday, but it was cruelly ruled out. And of course, a hat-trick from Kylian Mbappe up top. What else can this guy do? Do you know what I mean? And can I just say, Lamine Yamal, yeah, he got a goal here. And player of the match. Like last time out, Lamine Yamal, without getting necessarily goal involvements or a lot of goal involvements, he seems to win man of the match because he's just this, you know, superstar player in terms of what he's executing on the day. Like I said, Aurelien Tchouameni, a central defensive midfielder, playing out of position, as is Lucas Vazquez. I mean, it's pretty makeshift. Young Asensio trying to be the leader back there. I mean, they are sort of decimated with injury, Real. Courtois, though, a very good goalkeeper in goal, keeping net. Dani Ceballos, Danny Onion, similarly like Vasquez here, not having the greatest of games. Arda Güler coming into form, joining the front four, and then Jude Bellingham. Let's have a look at subs. Old man Modric came on, did pretty well by all the looks of things. Brahim Diaz, Endrick, like, Was it the right move to go to Real Madrid for them to just, hey, get Mbappe and like, is he? I mean, he's still young. Is he 20? No, he's got to be like 19 maybe, Hendrik. Because Chelsea, no, he can't. Maybe he's 18. Because Chelsea were courting him when he was 16. We lost the race to Real Madrid. Unsurprisingly, it happened. So he turns 19 this summer. Is he going to be one of those players? They paid 60 million euros for him, Real Madrid, Hendrik. I think that's ultimately what saw him go to Real Madrid rather than Chelsea. They outbid us, but we ended up getting, the likes of Esteval, who arrives this summer in a matter of weeks. Substitute appearances for the Catalans, Balde, Christensen, who I forgot even played for Barcelona. For me, before he'd scored for Gavi. So we're going to try and take you through what actually happened in this game, but just for an overview statistically, Barcelona well-worthy winners, although they create 7 chances to Real Madrid's 5, so only 2 more, I was going to say. But this is Hansi Flick ball at its best, creating and generating an absolute huge amounts of XG. But, in Clásico's past, if you generate 2.66 XG away and you score 3 goals, a Kylian Mbappe hat-trick, I went a bit of French there, hat-trick, then you'd be disappointed. Only 9 shots, though. 23 from Barca, more saves from Real Madrid. They were well worth it. But it didn't start like that, did it, guys? Because early doors, Kylian Mbappe scores a penalty in the 5th minute, converts, I think wins and converts. Excellent work from him. And then scoring a lovely goal in the 14th minute to put Real Madrid 2-0 up away from home. Ooh la la. Sexy stuff, exciting. How are Barca going to react? Has their Champions League disappointment tainted their ability to play flickball? Could the worst happen and they not win the league and let it go to their bitter rivals? I mean, Atleti are 5 behind. They're no chance really. Although shout out to Simeone. I think every season he's been there for like over a decade. They've got Champions League football. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but what an incredible achievement! Like that man has made that club. Yes. So yes, 2-0 up. Not for long though, 5 minutes they held the lead. Eric Garcia scores a goal for Ferran Torres, getting his first assist in this game. And they're like, right, none of this silly buggers. We're Barcelona, we're at home, we're going to win the league. Let's get another one back. And, within 11 minutes, Lamine Yamal scoring a lovely goal. Really whipped across the face of goal, going across the keeper. He's great. He's amazing, Lamine. He is clearly not affected by everything. I don't know what to say about him. He's amazing. He's young. This is what my brain is trying to literally file he's 17 and far too good for a 17-year-old. And maybe Barcelona are relying on this kid a little bit too much. I mean, I'm looking at the bench. There's a guy on there called Ansu Fati. Yeah, the guy who flopped at Brighton. He was the Lamine Yamal of 2 years ago. 2 years ago, Ansu Fati. He's maybe a bit more because he's 22 now. So this 3 or 4 years ago, he's a teenager. He was the guy, but he's got nothing on the likes of Lamine Yamal. And to be honest, they get so look at the time, guys. So look at the time. They get one back, 19th minute. 11 minutes later, they get the equaliser, and 2 minutes, Rafinha bangs in a lovely goal on their head. And at this point, Kylian Mbappe's brace. He's thinking, what the bloody heck am I doing here? He thinks he gets a penalty. It's cancelled. So he's like, I was going to get a first half hat-trick. He got a 14-minute brace. So he was on for a first half hat-trick away at Barcelona in the Clásico. But instead of that, before the half is even out, Rafinha gets his second. He scores a brace as well. Ferran Torres getting his other assist of the game. And in the second half, of course, Vinny, good link up with Kylian, playing in Mbappe in the 70th minute, and him completing a hat-trick in the Clásico. I'll talk about that in just a second. Loads of changes, loads of fouls. There was they wanted a penalty, and then it was taken away. And the Firmino's late goal was cancelled due to a handball in the build-up, I believe. Mbappe, because he didn't start necessarily very fast, but then his numbers are like undeniable. And when you're scoring hat tricks away in the Clásico, this is you know, the Cristiano Ronaldo replacement. It is. I mean, it's obvious. And I know he like, idolized him as a kid, but like doing this is what you do to be Cristiano Ronaldo's replacement. You score hat tricks in the Clásico away from home in Barcelona. You know, like Vinny Jr. is just not going to get the numbers. Rodrigo, of course, Eden Hazard was a complete failure due to my injuries, and to be honest, he's maybe my favorite player of all time, Eden Hazard. But like he just didn't work, you know, for a multitude of reasons. I don't think he had the Galactico sort of state of mind. He got injured and it just didn't work. Basically, and his training wasn't good enough. A multitude of reasons, it just didn't work. Vinny, Rodrigo, none of these guys. To be honest, personally, I did think, before we get back to Mbappe, I did think, at least for like a couple of years, I mean, he's only 35. I thought Gareth Bale was the Cristiano Ronaldo replacement, because Ronaldo is 5 years older than Bale. 5 years older. That's the length of an entire contract, a normal European contract. And, you know, Bale could be sort of, you know, retiring now-ish or going to Saudi now if he didn't sack off football. So Bale was sensational. He is kind of looked like Ronaldo as well, and tall, strong, athletic, flying down the left wing, headers in the air. Like, he was like Ronaldo light. I know Madrid fans don't really like Bale because of his behaviour with not, you know, he didn't integrate, didn't learn Spanish. He did the whole, was it Wales, Gulf, Madrid in that order. Like, why he hated Madrid so much when he played for Real Madrid is a bit mental, but I don't think they treated him so well either. It was a peculiar animosity there, but he was great. He was great for Real Madrid, Gareth Bale. You know, scoring overhead kicks in the finals and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, iconic stuff. The best British player of all time. Deep that. You know, England, home of football. I know he's not English, he's Welsh. But, like, England, the home of... Obviously, Britain, the home of football. Best British player of all time, you know. And so he, for me, was, like, the obvious replacement for Ronaldo. It just didn't work out. It was a very peculiar ending there with Zidane and all that. So yeah, Mbappe's the guy. Mbappe is the guy, and he scored a hat-trick in a loss in the Clásico. Very, very, very interesting indeed, football. Yeah, look, amazing. Let me know your thoughts, comment down below. Multiple uploads on this video, on this channel, excuse me. Thank you as always for your support. Just come and see me again. Like and subscribe. Peace!